Hello everybody, Disdonn here, and I'm going to give you a little bit of a vlog. This vlog is kind of going to be just me talking about a specific thing that I am interested in, because I got a package yesterday, and I kind of opened it, but kind of not. See, the thing is this shirt, a lot of the shirts you've seen me wear, a lot of things you've heard me talk about in vlogs and live streams, near and dear to me. And that near and dear thing to me is a certain podcast network. And I'll also talk about another one that I've been getting into lately. But for the most part, Nerdy Show. Those guys, for the last damn near 10 years now, I think it's been 9 years. 9 years, yeah, that they've been working. They've been working their asses off to get the best nerdy content as far as like up to the date news, freaking story driven podcasts, sci-fi fantasy. They've got multiple D&D and other pen and paper RPG audio drama series out there, including the one-shot Call of Cthulhu, which is fucking amazing. 8 episodes, you gotta fucking listen to it. I will link to a lot of this stuff down below, particularly just nerdyshow.com and their Amazon page, where they have shirts like my Pikathor, or the one, I will grab those, give me 1 second. Okay. Alright. There you go. I'm going to be doing a little bit of advertisement for them, because I love the guys. They're awesome. I support them on Patreon. I send a couple bucks their way when I use their Amazon sponsored link to buy my shit on Amazon. I really hope that they get... I'm not sure how it works with subscriptions, but I did use that page to subscribe to Amazon Prime and stuff, so I don't know. I really wish. But. The thing is, I've had a lot of nerdy shirts that I've had over the years. And most of these shirts are shitty fucking quality. Like, super shitty. Like, you put them through the wash 3 or 4 times and they fade. Like, mad. Or, they tear really easily. And get holes in them. I've ordered stuff from, like, what is it? Teespring before. As well as, like... And the nerdy shirts I get from, like, Walmart, Spencer's, Hot Topic. Like, if I see something really cool and I have the money for it, I'll pick it up, because I never know if I'm going to see one again. But this shirt, I've had this for, at least 2 years now. And look at this. It is still holding up. You cannot tell that this has been through the wash, like, freaking literally hundreds of times. My Friday Night Fanfiction shirt I got earlier this year, it is not holding up as well, but that is because I've worn that one to work so many damn times, where I occasionally have to lift empty wooden pallets of different things, and when I grab the pallets, the shirt gets caught and rips, and that's not the shirt's fault. That's my fucking ass being in the way. But these shirts are really high quality, and you can get them on Amazon through the Amazon store for Nerdy Show. And then they've also got the No Fangs shirt, which is related to one of the initiatives that they started with a multiverse type of episode, I guess you would call it, for a Nerdy Show, where they were talking about werewolves and vampires, and just say no fangs. If they want you to be a werewolf or a vampire, just say no fangs. You can't let that happen. Becoming a vampire, it sounds cool at first. Be immortal, but what do you lose? You lose your fucking soul, man. You'll never get to heaven. You're probably gonna go to hell. So just say no fangs. And also, they're working. This is the other reason why I wanted to do this, because I got this in here for that. But they're also, I really wanted to highlight the thing that I've really loved most about them lately. Outside of Friday Night Fanfiction, which I blab about all the time because it's the worst of the worst fan fiction being made fun of, and it's hilarious. But. They, on one of their episodes, came up with an idea. The idea was, what if the Thundercats was good? Like Young Justice good. And they came up with, because of the song they were about to go into, they used the song's name, Lightning Dogs. Hashtag Homeless. So, one of their podcasts right now is they're going through the creative process of making a television property. An animated television property aimed at all ages, at least to begin with. If it gets picked up by, say, Adult Swim, they'll definitely embellish in that direction. But they're not quite safe for young ears, not safe for all ages. Behind the Scenes podcast is detailing every little bit of the character design process. They've got links on the pages to all of their episodes for the Lightning Dogs podcast, for all the art that they've made so far for characters, vehicles, monsters, whatever. It's just fucking amazing. And all through October, leading up to when they... I think it was October when they officially debuted the podcast on Halloween. They did Inktober, where they did every day. They did the Inktober drawing challenge, where they draw the characters from this property that they're working on in these little prompt scenarios. And oh my god, watching every day through my Facebook feed, just freaking new Lightning Dogs, like, yes, I can't wait for that to be a thing. And being that I used to be an animator, I know how hard wanted to be an animator anyway. I know how hard it is to not only come up with a cool concept, but deal with, creating story bibles and character designs and turnarounds and all that shit. It is an insane amount of work, and I commend them greatly for working on it. And fucking A, they're just amazing. And that leads me to my gift that I gave myself. One of their pen and paper RPG podcasts. Yeah, listen to that. Listen to that lovely crinkle here. Is based on an old system that has kind of sort of gone into the public domain in some ways, because the place that published it went under and had to basically let the rights expire. So it's the Ghostbusters RPG D6 system from back in the 80s. And they got a hold of it and were like, we want to do a podcast about us being Ghostbusters down in Florida. And they're on season 3, and holy shit, every episode is amazing. But I got my dice. I have my special slime-colored... My special slime-colored dice. D6. And the laser-etched ghost die. That is a prevalent piece of the system. I think I have... I ordered 2 extra ghost die, so I've got 3 ghost die and a shit ton of D6. 4, 8... 12, so it's enough dice for each person to have a ghost for 3 Ghostbusters. And I've got other dice that I can mix in with that. But it also... The kit was $25 plus shipping, so $36. Plus, it comes with this lovely little cute containment unit. Yeah, and they've even got their freaking Central Florida Ghostbusters number, I believe, unless it's changed since then. But we have the 50 cards of... I haven't even opened this yet, so it's still in the wrapper. But we have the cards that are based on your equipment. So you've got like the trunk key. You got the how to play cards. GB RPG podcasts insert. Got walkie-talkies. We got the video analyzer, the little colander thing that they put on the head in the movies and get the crazy shit coming through, like the freaking Keymaster and the whatever. And then you got the Beach Kit, which is a very funny addition from the podcast. There's a dark matter generator. Traps. You got your standard scuba gear, slime blowers from Ghostbusters 2. You got your default proton packs. Got parachutes, PKE meters, goggles. What else do they got in here? Climbing gear. Climbing gear is important. But yeah, the dark matter generator, man. Like, that is the most special new thing that they added to it. And holy shit, it is a beast. So, there's that. There's the 50 cards. There's the 50 equipment cards. There's the dice. I ordered a couple extra ones. And I also got this, which I probably will not be using quite yet, but just open it enough to pull it out. It is a certificate of completion for the to be basically licensed as a Ghostbusters franchise. And I picked the blank one because I didn't know where the hell I'd be doing any of mine at. So I can, like, just basically put a post-it note on the motherfucker and God damn it, get in there. Get back in there. I don't want you being bad. But no, there's a lot of cool shit that these guys are up to, and I'd really like to let you guys know about it. And the other one that I was going to talk about is actually kind of local to me, and I didn't know it was local to me until well after the fact. It's the Jedi Council, which is part of the Geek Therapy Network. Basically, geeky people who are also therapists who are trying to relate their psychology backgrounds to media and utilizing it to help with treatment of mental illnesses. Majorly like depression and anxiety, but also other ones. And for me, that matters because I've struggled with depression basically my whole life. Depression and post-traumatic stress disorder. So that's really near and dear to me. And the fact that these guys are local to me and that they're doing such great work, I mean, kudos on them. Their latest episode that they had on Friday was, I'm not sure if it was a one-off or if they're going to do multi-part on that one, because they've been doing a lot of multi-part ones. They did a multi-part on 13 reasons why, the positives and negatives about, like, how it was doing a good job of representation of, like, the effects of suicide, but it kind of was a little near the end. But in the end, like, they did a psychoanalysis of the grief process of Bruce Wayne, Batman, and how he just can't get over his grief. Like, that's his thing, is he does not get over his grief. And that's, like, the driving force of his character. So, I mean, I love that they've done what they've done with that podcast. They did an episode about depression with Buffy. And I'm trying to remember what other ones that they've done. They're going through Rick and Morty now because of myself and a few other people mentioned that it was a good thing to maybe go through for psychoanalysis purposes, because holy shit, Rick's fucked up. But they're probably going to do a Rick and Morty episode or two down the line. The whole Geek Therapy Network is got a couple of different podcasts along the similar vein. The lead one, I think the lead one is Geek Therapy Podcast, is a therapist who's been working largely with kids. And because he was starting to utilize his love for video games and pop culture to get them to open up and tell him about their problems and start to get an idea of the best way to have them like cope and whatever, and ways to talk to them about it. That he's like basically starting to log his progress on making some sort of a handbook for doing that for therapists, for, you know, with children and adults, where, you know, relate to your patient to where the patient feels like they're safe, basically. And that's always good. So, again, Nerdy Show, holy fucking shit. If you're not listening to it, you're doing your life wrong. You need to at least give it a chance. If you don't like the news podcast, Nerdy Show, they've got microsodes where they talk about things on a bi-month, like twice a month they do microsodes of like 15 minutes to an hour on just single subject matters. They do interviews with nerdy people. They've done a Weird Al interview. They've done interviews with like nerdcore rappers and stuff. They did a history of nerdcore rap way back when they still had Hex on the show. Missy guy, you're awesome. Hex moved on. He's working for Screech Dragon Studios, doing game design for board games and stuff. He is half of the reason why I have my loaded dice. Lovely loaded dice mugs that I plug every time I frickin' use them on a frickin' live stream. Like, I plug these guys all the time, and it's because I love them. I've been listening since 2010, 2011. I went through the tragedy that happened in early 2012 when they lost Mike. They helped me get through a really rough time when I was feeling like I was alone and I didn't have the ability to connect with other people that I should, because I was in a very dysfunctional, abusive relationship that happened, and I was not allowed to have friends. I was not allowed to talk to my family. I was not allowed to watch most things that was coming out because of reasons. So I vicariously through their podcasts, their podcast helped me write my first novel. Their podcast helped by not only being background noise, but their nerdy.fm, nerd music radio station that they have. Just type it in, nerdy.fm into your browser, and boom, 24 hours a day. Sometimes it's a little laggy, but you know, that happens with online frickin' streaming radio. But they got everything from frickin' nerdcore rap to video game remixes to in-house artists like Mark with a C. He's also awesome. And like, from that point of 2010, like, I listened to the Dungeons and Doritos podcast. I listened to Wicked Anime to catch up on anime and like get suggestions. I listened to, because Dungeons and Doritos is the first role-playing podcast that they did. Holy fucking shit. Like, if you go from episode 1, the original version of episode 1, and then go to the current episode, the amount of growth that they've done for the production and just generally doing a better job of streamlining it to where they cut out as much of the dice rolling and just dead air, basically, that as possible, so that way it's like Critical Role without all of the long pauses where people are looking at their sheets and stuff, because they cut that out. It's only audio, but it is great. Like, I put it on when I'm at work, so that way I can listen to it. I put on Friday Night Fanfiction when I need a laugh for 2 hours. I put on Wicked Anime when that comes out. I put on Liberty podcast. That one's got, that's a sci-fi bent audio drama. It finished the first arc of the main one, where it was 2 seasons of critical research. They have a graphic, hang on. Again, plugging. They have a comic out, the Liberty Deception comic. And on the last page, my name is somewhere in here. Somewhere. I probably will not be able to find it. Oh, there it is. Yeah, my name is on the last page because I kickstarted the book at enough to get the hardcover. Well, actually, they all got upgraded to hardcover, but the podcast that it's basically like it's almost like Borderlands. Well, not like if you took Deus Ex plus Borderlands plus Portal, like the sci-fi future. No, maybe it's closer to, I don't know. It's a sci-fi future on a different planet where you've got the civilized civilization, and then you've got the people who left the major city and are basically a bunch of bandits, essentially. Bandit tribes. And holy fuck is that great. They've also picked up The Orphans, which is another sci-fi podcast. That one is basically about a crash-landed ship on an unknown planet, and the people on the ship have to learn to survive with their sarcastic as shit British fucking robot, Jeffrey. Jeffrey. Geo free. It stands for something, but I can't fucking remember it right now. But they're another one. They did Call of Cthulhu, like I said. They've done, in the last year, they did, for April Fool's last year, they did a multiverse special crossover with Ghostbusters Resurrection. The one which I've got the fucking stuff for, which I'm going to have to find people to play with me. Or maybe do a thing with you guys, I don't know. But they basically thought that their studio was the premise was the studio was haunted. So they wanted to get, a reading, and apparently they were tapping into the multiverse through one of the microphones that was on their desk. So they set up a machine and they tapped into it, and you got like stuff like Scale Watchers, freaking No Fangs. You got freaking there was a lot of cool little things, and there was even a Lightning Dogs reference in there. And yes, Cap, I know that there was fucking Lightning Dogs reference in the first one. I know that. I know it was Wolfman. I know it was Wolfman Jack. And the second one was Thanksgiving, and probably the best one out of everyone's favorite, basically, from what I hear, is the Kino Wah, because basically blind. It's a podcast and you have to listen to it. Taste testing of foods and having it described to you is, you don't know what's actually being eaten, and it could be something normal and mundane, but the way that they do it is holy fucking shit. It's awesome. So yeah, dudes, check out Nerdy Show. Check out Geek Therapy and Jedi Council. I'm not going to mention the other one that I need to catch up on because fucking everyone listens to that one. Like, seriously. I'm not going to fucking talk about it because they got money, but the ones I'm talking about don't. I love these guys. I want to support them and give them more fans and viewers. Nerdy Show also has a stream team. I may have mentioned it once or twice. Typically Tuesdays from like 3 to 5 roughly Central Standard Time. Steve-O and Chris and Steve-O's wife Val will be doing Stepmania. Basically, they're exercising for using DDR type thing. Thursdays they've got the full or most of the crew. Sundays they got most of the crew, and those are usually from 5 to 7, 5 to 8 Central Standard Time. And that is, whatever the hell they feel like playing. They've forced David from Fan Fiction to play Final Fantasy 13. They've done Final Fantasy 10. They've done 10-2. They've done a lot of GTA 5 online. Project Zomboid. They got a lot of stuff that they played. And it's always good to catch them. If you miss it, they do have recent ones archived, so it's really nice. Steve-O has also done quite a few, a dozen or so remixes on OC Remix. I have linked to those in the past, particularly on Ruru Miki's channel, as comments for some of her playthrough video episodes for Final Fantasy IV and Final Fantasy... no, I haven't done Final Fantasy IX yet, have I? I did Final Fantasy IV twice. And I've done Mega Man on my own. So, yeah, that's definitely a thing. And again, OC Remix, that's another thing that you guys should check out. If you like old game music, or even some newer game music, I guess, because they've branched out a little. But if you like any style of music, you can find it. Old games especially. You can find Jazz Mario, frickin' Pop Mario, EDM Mario, just everything you can think of. There's a shit ton of Final Fantasy ones. Obviously, there's like at least 10 Final Fantasy games with decent soundtracks that are worthy of remixing. And they've done full album remixes of a lot of the Final Fantasy games too. They did Final Fantasy 4, 6, 7, 9. They did a jazz album for Chrono Trigger. And holy fucking shit, it is just great. Check that out too. So I will link to everything in my description. It's going to be a lot of shit. I'm probably going to have to watch this and freaking write it down. But it's basically going to be OC Remix, Nerdy Show, Geek Therapy, Jedi Council. And you guys, thank you for watching. Have a good one. And I will see you in the next episode of whatever. So have a good one, guys.